Hello everyone. Next up, I have a requested review from one of my subscribers known as Mr. Mantis. It's a movie I haven't seen since I was a little kid. Munchies was released in 1987 in a clear attempt at cashing in on the little creatures craze that came about after the release of Gremlins in 1984. There were a lot of these kinds of films released throughout the 80s, so how does Munchies hold up? Well, let's jump in and find out. So Munchies opens with our lead, Paul, making a Star Trek quip.
Captain's log, stardate 2027.1. Dear Cindy, I am being held prisoner on a barren asteroid by the evil Klingon Emperor.
Oh, will you stop complaining?
I love this movie already. He's on an archaeological dig with his dad, and we find out he wants to be a comedian.
Paul, first of all, you're not funny.
Ouch. But to be fair, his dad is right.
Look, Ma, no cavities.
So inside a cavern, the dad takes a sample of something that looks just like the ooze from Ninja Turtles. They discover a munchie creeping around and capture it.
Definitely an alien. Go get something for me to put him in.
Somehow they sneak the munchie back to the US and are picked up by Paul's girlfriend Cindy, the same actress who played Brad's sister in Critters. Coincidence? Okay, so they get back home with the munchie, and the dad leaves the thing in the care of Paul and Cindy while he goes on a trip.
I'm heading over to the university to catch Dr. Crowder's lecture. Ink and hieroglyphics, art form or cosmic joke.
Yeah, probably not the smartest idea. So the dad's twin brother, also played by actor Harvey Korman in a bad wig and mustache, apparently has the house bugged. Uncle Cecil is a sleazy businessman and snack food bigwig. I guess he wants to buy his brother's land, so he spies on him to figure out a way to blackmail him or bribe him or something. So get this, Uncle Cecil uses toxic waste to make snack foods. But don't worry, it's neutralized first. He recruits his loser hippie stepson, referred to as Dude in the credits, to help him steal the munchie.
I'm practicing for a hacky sack tournament later. I don't see what the big deal is.
Hacky sack? Oh yeah, that's that sport you hippies play while you're doing drugs.
Well, he is right. Damn hippies.
Incredibly bad energy, man.
Anyway, the munchie sounds a lot like a little guy from another movie with little creatures.
Now, this is how you turn it on. Why don't you try? Okay.
I can't quite place it. But to the movie's credit, it doesn't shy away from the fact that it's ripping off Gremlins. Hell, it celebrates it and even embraces it, which is cool. So they name the munchie Arnold, and Paul gives him a porno magazine. And I'm pretty sure the little pervert is playing with himself in that bag.
Arnold's amusing himself with Miss July. And you and I haven't seen...
Speaking of which, Paul and Cindy decide to head up to the bedroom and leave Arnold unattended. Oh, and their idea of foreplay involves shooting a laser gun and dinking around with a giant inflatable hammer. Oh, Paul, you jokester, you. Hey, wait a second. Is that one of the silver shamrock masks from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? Cool. So Uncle Cecil and his stepson break in and steal Arnold. Cecil makes the same mistake his brother made and leaves this idiot to watch the munchie, who's finally revealed in all of his, glory. So things take a bit of a darker turn when Dude is mean to poor Arnold.
Said cut it. Ow!
After more abuse, Arnold gets rightfully ticked off and attacks.
Oh, you're not laughing anymore, are you, pal?
So the stepson ends up chopping poor Arnold into pieces. The pieces then reanimate and create more munchies, which magically have their own little outfits now.
Rudy, how you feeling, man?
Leon, what'd I have to drink last night? I feel sick.
Hey, Rudy, where are we?
The munchies get their revenge on this idiot by cranking up the volume on his headphones.
Crank it all the way up, man.
Why didn't he just take his headphones off? So the munchies flee the house and steal a car with Paul and Cindy in hot pursuit. So they wreak lots of havoc and take on a pretty tame-looking biker gang. And an obnoxious old lady.
Head for the hills, mama.
Crazy punks. Let them have guns.
We even get a nice cameo from Robert Picardo. Wait, did that cardboard cutout just break a window? Meanwhile, Paul and Cindy join up with an inept deputy, who we all remember as the teenage punk from the Arnold classic, The Running Man. Seriously, that's how he's credited in that movie. Teenage Punk. So Uncle Cecil, his wife, and another cop are also on the Munchies trail. At one point, everyone ends up at a miniature golf course where the Munchies flail around awkwardly. So the climax takes place at one of Uncle Cecil's underground dumping sites. Paul discovers that electrocuting the Munchies turns them into little statues, for some reason. But hey, it stops them. By the way, doesn't Paul look like Charlie Brewster from the original Fright Night? I thought so anyway. So the truth comes out about Cecil's illegal ways, and he and his wife are arrested. Paul destroys all the statues except for one, which he gives to his returning dad. And Paul Bartel suddenly shows up from the museum. And guess what?
I can offer you $25,000 for this statue.
And then he just wanders off with the statue. I've seen the People's Court enough times to know that you gotta get that crap in writing. So Paul Bartel very securely places the Munchie statue in the back of his truck, and the door is left wide open for a sequel, which did come, by the way, but that's a review for another day. So that's Munchies. The movie is clearly a low-budget, Roger Corman-produced Gremlins ripoff, but it's still pretty fun. It's filled with lots of great 80s cheese, and the acting is actually pretty good too. Most of the characters are kind of annoying, but it's not too bad. The design of the Munchies are pretty cool, but their movement, as I mentioned earlier, leaves much to be desired. But it's fine, in a bad movie kind of way. And that's what Munchies is. A fun, cheesy, bad movie. In other words, my kind of movie. So yeah, check it out sometime. It's actually available as a double feature on Blu-ray from Scream Factory with that aforementioned sequel. And you know, I actually haven't watched part 2 since the 90s. Could another review be on the horizon? Stay tuned.